I think 1980s Chris Claremont X-Men issues are the best comics in the world, but I live in Japan, so I'm looking for some manga that comes close. In this series, I will rate the manga on my snikt scale. 3 frisky snikts for great, 2 creed-piercing snikts for okay, and 1 snikt for... yeah. But there's so much to analyze, so let's break it down. Art. Is it as good as Silvestri, Miller, Smith, JR? Action. Does it have graceful hero battling and martial artsing around? Story. Some good old tearjerkers, which work best if you counter it with some plain everyday talking around the dinner table. Romance. That soap opera Claremont stuff. And maybe some fan service. Cliffhangers. Like an episode of Lost, it should make you run to the store for more. Japanese learning ease. So I've been studying Japanese on and off for more than 10 years now. And if I can connect some pleasure to it, that's a big bonus. So I'm looking for manga with furigana, so readings of the kanji, and some useful everyday vocab. First on the list, and the most obvious place to start maybe, is Lone Wolf and Cub. Since Frank Miller is a huge fan, and there's even a series of beautiful covers for the American reprints by him and Sienkiewicz. Works of art. Okay, so the story is quite simple. The assassin of the Shogun is Ogami Ito, but bad guy Yagyu Retsudo betrays Ito and has his family killed. Only his newborn son Daigoro survives. Ito is like, "Hey Daigoro, choose the sword or the ball. If you choose the sword, we travel the land and take revenge on our enemies. And if you choose the ball, I will have you join your dead mother now." He chooses the sword and the story starts. There's over 8,700 pages in the whole series. That's 4 times more than Akira. Okay, let's rate. The art is friggin' awesome. It's like Zen brush strokes on every page. Either minimal, but also super detailed nature and buildings. Okay, a quick tryout of the style. So very open lines with a brush. And then parallel rendering for the shadows. I love how these trees are just slightly visible lines seen through the snow. And the faces are also very strong, so let's do a Wolverine in this style. So cool. In the snow, of course. Okay, so art, hands down, 3 points. The action is also genius. You feel the wind, and it basically looks like an Akira Kurosawa movie on paper. The pacing, the action lines, just perfection. The story? I did not read everything. It reads like a TV show, so little stories of revenge, or like a side story where Daigoro gets into trouble and his dad saves him, and then they go back on the road. Kind of like
Kane in Kung Fu. Walk from place to place, meet people, get in adventures.
So I have to say 2. Romance? The occasional fan service, but this is a dad revenge story, so yeah. Cliffhangers, also 1. Like I mentioned, it's basically mini stories and the ending is pretty famous. Thanks to Kazuo Koike's wishes that all depictions in movies and TV shows end the same. But I won't mention the spoiler alert. As a Japanese everyday language tool, also just 1. Because there's no furigana. And of course the story is mostly samurai related, so not that much everyday stuff. That gives a total score of 11 out of 18. It's definitely a classic, but I'm looking for something specific here, so if you have any tips on manga that would score high on my Claremont list, please let me know in the comments. I can't wait to discover new stuff. Like this video if you liked it, and catch you in the next episode.